Have you ever wondered why every single morning you wake up dealing with that thick, sticky buildup in your throat? For so many older adults, this isn't just a small inconvenience that goes away quickly. Over time, it becomes a dreaded morning ritual. Endless coughing, constant throat clearing, and that heavy feeling like something is stuck deep inside your airways. Most people brush it off thinking it's just a normal part of aging, or maybe the leftover effects of a stubborn cold that never fully went away. But here's the truth many don't realize: ongoing mucus production isn't always an unavoidable sign of getting older. More often than not, it's your body's urgent way of warning you that something else is going on. And ignoring these signals or treating them the wrong way can actually make the problem worse instead of better. That's exactly why today's content matters so much. This isn't just about feeling more comfortable in your daily routine. It's also about protecting your overall health. If you're finding this helpful already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss out on our latest health tips. Today, we're breaking down the 5 most common reasons why older adults deal with that frustrating morning mucus. These aren't random guesses. They're real science-backed explanations that many people have simply never heard before. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what could be causing your symptoms, but you'll also discover practical steps you can take right away. And if you're between the ages of 55 and 85 and you're tired of starting your mornings with coughing, throat congestion, and discomfort, this was made for you. Even if you're not personally struggling with this, chances are someone in your family or a close friend is going through it right now. So stay tuned, because what you're about to learn may finally explain what's been happening and, more importantly, give you clear, effective solutions. Let's dive in. Reason number 1, post-nasal drainage from aging sinuses. One of the most commonly overlooked reasons older adults struggle with daily mucus actually begins quietly inside the sinus cavities. As the years go by, the delicate lining of the nasal passages loses its natural moisture. The tiny hair-like structures called cilia, which once worked efficiently to sweep away irritants, begin to slow down. Instead of clearing mucus out of the sinuses, they allow it to drip down the back of the throat, creating that uncomfortable lingering sensation. This condition is known as postnasal drip. While the term might sound harmless, the experience is far from easy. Imagine waking up every morning with a constant tickle in your throat. You cough, you swallow again and again, but the irritation just won't go away. For many people, this leads to a persistent dry cough that feels impossible to shake off. What makes it even more frustrating is that this type of mucus is completely different from what you get during a cold or the flu. Instead of disappearing within a week or two, it can linger for months or even years. Countless seniors accept it as something they simply have to live with, assuming it's just another part of aging. But here's the truth: while age does play a role, you are not powerless. Post-nasal drip can be worsened by dry indoor air from heaters in the winter, low bedroom, humidity, or nighttime acid reflux. Many older adults have found relief just by running a humidifier next to their bed or propping up their pillow slightly to sleep on a gentle incline. Sometimes these small changes are enough to make the morning mucus disappear completely. And let's not forget the emotional toll. Instead of starting your day by enjoying a warm cup of coffee or tea, you're stuck clearing your throat. In social settings, the constant noise and discomfort can make you self-conscious, forcing you to apologize over and over. Little by little, it chips away at your confidence and steals the simple comfort of feeling normal. I've met people well into their late 70s who stopped going to church or avoided community gatherings altogether simply because they didn't want to be the person coughing nonstop in the middle of the room. And this reveals something deeper than just a physical symptom. It touches on our sense of dignity as we age. When your body keeps producing uncomfortable, sticky symptoms, it can quietly chip away at your confidence and even cause embarrassment. Most of us don't talk about it. We pretend it's not there. But the truth is, it matters a lot. Waking up feeling clear and comfortable in your throat sets the tone for your entire day. You deserve to start your mornings fresh, without discomfort holding you back. So if you've been struggling with that stubborn morning mucus, here are some important questions to ask yourself. Could postnasal drip be the cause? Is the air in your home too dry? Could the nasal sprays you're using actually be making things worse? Start by paying attention to your environment, your nighttime routines, and even your diet. You'd be surprised how small changes like drinking a warm glass of lemon water first thing in the morning, or adding a humidifier to your bedroom can make a dramatic difference. But that's just the beginning. The next reason might be hiding in plain sight, and it's one most people never think to connect with mucus at all: your digestive system. Believe it or not, the mucus you cough up every morning may not be coming from your sinuses or your lungs, but from your stomach. That's right, the hidden culprit is acid reflux, often called silent reflux. This condition is one of the most common yet overlooked triggers of chronic mucus in adults over 60. Unlike classic heartburn, silent reflux doesn't always cause that burning sensation in the chest, which is why so many people don't realize it's happening until the mucus becomes a daily struggle. Unlike the typical reflux most of us expect, silent reflux doesn't show up with obvious burning in the chest or sour burps. Instead, while you sleep, tiny amounts of stomach acid creep upward into your throat. That acid irritates the lining, inflames your vocal cords, and forces your body to create extra mucus as a form of defense. What makes this so tricky is that it doesn't look like the reflux you imagine. There's no spicy meal from the night before, no heavy dinner to blame. Instead, you're left with a nagging feeling that pushes you to constantly clear your throat. Your voice might sound raspy when you wake up. You might notice a lump-like tightness in your throat. Some even assume it's allergies, when in reality, the body is desperately trying to heal a small, hidden injury caused by acid. This type of reflux becomes more and more common as we grow older. The reason lies in the lower esophageal valve, that small muscle designed to close tightly between the stomach and the throat. Over time, it weakens, and when you lie flat at night, gravity can no longer keep acid where it belongs. Quietly, it slips upward again and again. Each time it happens, your body reacts by coating your throat with mucus, just like a firefighter dousing flames to keep them from spreading. I once met a 68-year-old woman named Teresa who was convinced she had chronic bronchitis. For months, she dealt with thick morning mucus. Her tests showed no infection, her lungs looked fine, and yet the problem wouldn't stop. But when she made 2 small changes, raising her upper body slightly at night and avoiding meals within 3 hours of bedtime, the mucus vanished. Just like that. The problem wasn't her lungs at all, it was silent reflux. Here's the emotional side people rarely talk about. When you don't understand why your body is acting this way, you start to feel powerless. You believe you're doing everything right, eating well, keeping warm, getting proper rest, and yet each morning greets you with coughing and discomfort. That ongoing frustration slowly chips away at your confidence and your trust in your own body. The hardest part for many is how misunderstood they feel. People around you assume it's nothing more than aging. And so little by little, you stop explaining, you stop asking questions, and eventually you stop hoping for real relief. But let me remind you, you deserve so much more than just putting up with it. If this sounds familiar, here are a few simple adjustments you can try. Raise the head of your bed by several inches. Avoid late-night snacking, especially acidic foods like tomatoes or citrus, and swap that extra meal after dinner for a soothing cup of warm ginger tea. Most importantly, don't just talk to your doctor about heartburn. Ask about silent reflux, because often the answer isn't another pill. It's smarter lifestyle habits. Now let's move on to reason number 3. A culprit hiding right in plain sight: dry indoor air. Most people assume mucus only builds up when you're sick or when outside humidity is high. But for many older adults, the opposite is true. Mucus actually increases when the air is too dry, especially indoors where seniors spend the majority of their time. Think about it: during winter, heaters strip the air of moisture. In summer, air conditioning does the exact same thing. Both leave your nose and throat dehydrated. In response, your body does the only thing it knows to protect those tissues. It produces more mucus. At first, this may sound contradictory. After all, we usually associate dry air with a dry nose. But when the delicate lining of your nasal passages and throat dries out, it reacts almost like a tiny internal burn. Your body interprets that as damage and immediately floods the area with mucus to rehydrate, soothe irritation, and trap particles. The more time you spend in this kind of environment, especially while sleeping, the more likely you'll wake up needing to clear your throat, blow your nose, or cough up phlegm. I remember a man named Walter, 72 years old, who struggled with stubborn morning mucus for over a year. He tried allergy medications, cut out dairy products, and even switched his toothpaste, thinking it might be a trigger, but the mucus refused to go away. Then one winter, his daughter bought him a simple bedroom humidifier. Within just 7 days, the mucus was cut in half. After 2 weeks, it was gone completely. That's how powerful dry air can be. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't touch it, but your body feels it and reacts the only way it knows how, by producing more mucus. This is especially true for older adults. As we age, our mucous membranes lose moisture. Our skin becomes thinner, our hydration levels drop, and our ability to regulate moisture weakens. Add in common medications like antihistamines, blood pressure pills, or diuretics, all of which dry the body out even more, and you've created the perfect recipe for thick, sticky mucus that's nearly impossible to clear. From an emotional perspective, this type of problem can drive you crazy. You go to bed feeling fine, no unusual food, no illness yet. Every morning you wake up coughing, embarrassed at the breakfast table, maybe even canceling plans because you just don't feel comfortable. Over time, it chips away at your confidence, making you reluctant to socialize or even answer the phone. What most people don't realize is that the solution can be as simple as a small humidifier sitting on a pharmacy shelf. If you're waking up with mucus and can't figure out, why take a look at your bedroom environment? Do you have a humidifier running a bowl of water near the heater or vent? Are you drinking water before bed and after waking up? These small, inexpensive adjustments can make a huge difference. Because when your body feels supported, it no longer needs to defend itself by overproducing mucus. One of the most overlooked reasons why older adults wake up every morning coughing up mucus is something known as silent acid reflux. When most people hear acid reflux, they picture heartburn, the burning in the chest after a heavy meal. But silent reflux works differently. It's sneaky, deceptive, and doesn't always follow the rules we expect. Instead of causing obvious pain, it creeps up your throat at night while you're lying down. The acid irritates tissues, inflames your vocal cords, and leaves behind, you guessed it, mucus. Your body produces that mucus as a protective coating, a natural shield to neutralize the acid and heal the irritation. So if you wake up every morning with a sticky feeling in your throat, constantly needing to clear it, silent reflux may be the hidden culprit. The frustrating part is that most seniors assume it's just age or maybe allergies, and they never treat the real cause. Silent reflux is especially common after age 60 because the lower esophageal sphincter, the small muscle that keeps stomach acid sealed inside, weakens over time. Add to that the fact that many older adults are less active, eat dinner later, and go to bed soon after, and you've created the perfect environment for reflux to happen again and again. I once met a woman named Helen, 68 years old, who told me she cleared her throat 40 to 50 times a day. She had visited ear, nose, and throat specialists. She thought it was allergies or maybe a stubborn cold that never healed. But it wasn't until someone asked her about her evening habits, late dinners, lying flat after meals, waking up hoarse, that the truth became clear. Once she shifted her routine, eating dinner earlier, propping up her head at night, and avoiding trigger foods like tomatoes and chocolate, the mucus practically disappeared. The emotional toll of silent reflux can be overwhelming because it doesn't feel like a digestive problem at all. Many seniors are left confused and frustrated. They wonder why they always sound hoarse or congested. Some fear it could be throat cancer or a lingering infection. Worst of all, it can chip away at confidence, forcing them to clear their throat during conversations, cough in the middle of a sentence, or even avoid social interaction altogether. But once you understand what's truly happening, you regain the power. This isn't just aging. It's not something random. It's your body's response to a very real irritant. And the good news is, with just a few small shifts like elevating your pillow, cutting out acidic foods late at night, or spacing your meals, you can finally give your throat the relief it's been craving. If you're finding value in this, drop the number 4 in the comments so I know you're still with me. And then ask yourself, what time did I eat dinner last night? Did I lie down right after? Am I snacking on spicy or acidic foods late in the evening? These aren't just small habits. They're critical clues. Because sometimes the biggest problems aren't caused by what we notice, but by what we don't. Now let's move on to reason number 5, another hidden factor that affects countless older adults: dry indoor air and poor humidity. The very air you breathe, especially inside your own home, might be silently working against your lungs, your throat, and your ability to breathe freely. One of the most common yet underestimated causes of morning mucus in seniors is simply dry air indoors. It may seem harmless, but when the air around you lacks proper humidity, your respiratory system reacts, and not in a good way. As we age, the delicate membranes lining our nasal passages, throat and lungs become thinner, more fragile, and less capable of staying moist. When that dry air surrounds you, those membranes try to compensate by producing extra mucus. But instead of protecting you, it leaves you congested and uncomfortable, forcing you to wake up each morning with a throat full of phlegm. That's why so many older adults find themselves constantly clearing their throat, especially during the winter, when the heater is on, or in the summer when the air conditioner never stops running. I remember visiting an old friend named Bob, a retired school principal in his late 70s. Every morning he'd sit by the window with a cup of coffee and a box of tissues at his side, coughing and clearing his throat like clockwork. At first he assumed it was just aging or maybe allergies, but then he noticed something unusual whenever he traveled to a more humid place like visiting his daughter in Florida. The coughing nearly disappeared. The real culprit wasn't his age, it was his dry home environment. Once he placed a humidifier in his bedroom and another in the living room, the difference was night and day. He went from coughing 30 times each morning to barely once or twice. Dry air also changes the way mucus behaves in the body. Instead of being thin and easy to expel, it becomes thick and sticky, clinging to the throat and settling in the lungs. That makes it harder to clear and creates the constant urge to cough. Even worse, thick mucus can trap bacteria and dust, turning your airways into a breeding ground for infections. For most seniors, this dry environment isn't intentional at all. But the heating systems we rely on in the winter and the air conditioners we depend on in the summer both strip the air of moisture. Add closed windows, running fans, and poor ventilation, and you've built the perfect recipe for year-round throat irritation. The emotional toll is just as real. Many seniors feel frustrated or embarrassed by the constant throat clearing. They may avoid phone calls, cut back on socializing, or even worry they're battling a serious lung condition, when in reality their home environment is the silent trigger. The best part is that in many cases the solution is surprisingly simple. Improve the air you breathe every day. A quality humidifier, staying well hydrated, adding houseplants that release moisture, or simply opening a window for fresh air can completely change how you feel. You don't need expensive machines or complicated procedures, just a few thoughtful adjustments that put your comfort and well-being first. If you wake up every morning coughing or clearing your throat more than you'd like, take a look around your home. Pay attention to how the air feels, because sometimes the greatest relief doesn't come from medicine or a diagnosis, it comes from simply breathing better. Now let's take a moment to reflect. If you've ever felt embarrassed by constant throat clearing, frustrated by never-ending mucus, or even afraid that something serious was wrong with your lungs, I want you to know this: you are not alone and you are not broken. Countless older adults quietly live with the same struggle, believing it's just part of aging or something they must endure. But as we've uncovered today, there are real reasons behind these daily symptoms, and even better, there are real solutions. In your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body doesn't shout the way it used to. It whispers. It communicates through subtle signs like a little extra coughing in the morning or more mucus after a meal. These aren't signs of weakness. They are signs of wisdom from a body that has carried you through decades and now asks for a little more care, attention, and kindness. Whether it's post-nasal drip, silent reflux side effects of medications, or simply dry indoor air, each cause is your body's way of asking for support. And the encouraging news is this: with just a few simple changes, talking with your doctor about medications, elevating your pillow at night, adding a humidifier, drinking more water, or cutting back on dairy, you can breathe easier and wake up feeling refreshed. Every step counts, no matter how small it may seem. But more than knowledge, I want you to take away this truth: you deserve to feel better. You don't have to accept discomfort as your fate, and you absolutely have the power to take charge of your well-being. Thank you so much for being here today. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share one thing you learned and how you'll apply it in your own life. Your words inspire and motivate us to keep creating valuable content. If this video helped you, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Your support means the world to us. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.